Hey YouTube, what's going on today? Beautiful day. I'm driving down 287, headed from Texas. Actually, I picked this load up in Oklahoma, and I'm heading up to Gibson, Colorado. Pay on this load's really good, so if you're gonna go to Colorado, then you need to make sure that that load's paying you really well, because when you get to Colorado, what's going to happen is you're going to be in a market where you're not going to be looking at getting very good rates out of there. And so on this video, something I want to talk about is picking your lanes. So what I mean by picking your lanes, it's from the loads that you're picking, from what area you're in and what area you're going to. You need to understand that every area in this country doesn't pay the same. So if you're going to take loads to Colorado, places like Florida, even up into the Northeast, it may pay you really good to go there, but then when you get there, you're not going to get as good of a rate coming back out. So that's what I mean by you need to know your lanes. So say you're going to take a load from Oklahoma to Colorado. For me, that load better pay over $3 a mile, because it's not worth it for you to go to Colorado unless that load pays over $3 a mile. Because when you get to Colorado, you're going to be lucky to get more than $2 a mile. A lot of them are listed for $1.20 a mile. And so really you got to think about, is it worth it for me to take this load from Oklahoma City up to Gibson, Colorado? For me, if it's going to pay over $3 a mile, it's worth it, because the next load I can take for $1.80, it average itself out to where you're still making in the 240, 250 range. You don't always want to look at what does this load pay for this. You don't want to look at it one load at a time. You want to look at it for how much can I average for the whole week. And so you don't want to be averaging under $2 a mile, because then it makes it really hard for you to cover all your expenses and still get a decent paycheck. You really want to be in the 250 range on your average for the week if you can. Some weeks I'll be in the 350 range on my average. And then what's going to happen is everyone likes to go to certain areas, and the rates are going to be different. So you may be in Chicago and you may get $3 up to like Massachusetts, but then when you come out of Massachusetts, it's the same thing, $1.50 on the board. You may be looking at $2 if you're lucky out of the Northeast. And then like if you take a load down to Florida from Chicago, if you go to Miami, you could be looking at getting a $4,000 for that load. Say it delivers on Monday, and that's a really good paying load. But what you need to understand about that is when you get down to Miami, everything's going to be $1 a mile, maybe $1.15 a mile out of there, and I won't haul nothing for that cheap, so I'll just deadhead out of there. So if the load pays good enough to go from Illinois down to Florida, then it delivers on Monday, for me it's worth losing Monday and just deadheading out of there. It may, yeah, you're going to lose a day of work, and you're going to lose the fuel money that you put out to deadhead from Miami up to Savannah or Atlanta, something like that, to where you can actually get a decent load out of there. But still, though, if you're getting $3.80 a mile or even $3.50 a mile to go down there, and use one day to deadhead out of there, you still did pretty good. Even with your deadhead, you're still looking at being in the 280 per mile range. I would say if you wanted to be more on the safe side, then what you need to do is run from the Midwest. Say you start out in the Midwest, go down somewhere in south of Virginia, North Carolina, down to maybe Georgia, but I would stay out of Florida unless it pays really well. Then you could like work your way back up towards the Midwest and grab a weekend load out of there that pays really good. For me, it's okay to take a load to a bad area on Friday because that's when you're going to make the money. That's your bread and butter right there. The weekend loads where you make all your money. So the rest of the week you're working to cover your expenses and your fuel for the week, and then your weekend load is usually, that's going to be your paycheck. And I'm going to try to keep this video short, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about freight lanes. And one other way you can kind of learn what areas are paying better than other areas and which areas are not paying so good is to just download that DAT load board, and you can go in there and you can type in whatever area you want, and you can see what kind of rates that they're giving out of that area. And that helps you to decide how you want to run your truck and where you want to put your truck. You need to position your truck in a good area at the beginning of the week, and at the end of the week on Friday you want to try to be back in that good area, and then on Friday is when you grab that weekend load that may go to a bad area. And then your next week you're going to start in a bad area, but you always want to try to end your week on Friday. Well, not end your week, but end up Friday for your weekend loads. You want to try to be in the best area possible. So even if you start your week out on Monday in a bad area, you want to try to position your truck by Friday in a good area, somewhere like Illinois or Wisconsin, Ohio, maybe Missouri area. Arkansas is really good. You need to learn which areas are good and which areas are bad, and position your truck accordingly. I hope this helps, and I'll put out some more videos talking about different ways you can run your business that may be beneficial to you, because it's a learning experience. When you get out here, you don't know all these things. You kind of have to learn it as you go, and I'll try to share some of the things I've learned, which has helped me to become successful in this business. Thank you.